Hello, my name's Darcy Aker. I'm from HydroMetrics. Today we're going to be taking you through taking some manual measurements for nitrate of a groundwater and a surface water sample using the GW50 Portable nitrate sensor. Right, we have now unpicked the GW50 sensor and mounted it into the case. First thing we've got to do is to actually clean the sensor from any build-up that may have occurred when it's been sitting in its case. First thing is grab the plug or a bung and insert it into the bottom of the sensor. Using some IPA or Isopropyl Alcohol, we're going to fill the measurement tube. What the IPA does is it helps remove any biological build-ups that may have happened. Then we take our brush, insert it into the measurement tube carefully and start to brush it. Now we have to be careful not to be too vigorous with this. Any very sudden movements may in fact scratch the measurement tube. After we've brushed the top of it, we can remove the bung and continue to brush the rest of the measurement tube. Now we've done that, using deionized water, then we simply rinse out the measurement tube. Now one of the things that you have to be careful with is using these chemicals, that they will cause skin irritation, so by wearing gloves we of course minimise that risk. So now we've cleaned it with deionized water. The second step to cleaning is using some hydrochloric acid at 0.1 mol. Now it is a weak acid, but once again taking care to wear gloves to avoid that skin irritation. Now with hydrochloric acid we don't need to brush the sensor tube. The acid will in fact do its job. So we'll leave it in there for about a minute to do its thing. Minutes passed, so now we can drop that bung out again and simply rinse the sensor out several times with our DI water. And rinse off our plug. Now with our DI water, fill up the measurement tube and we're going to check to make sure that is in fact clean. We open up the GW50 log software, click the connect button, which will bring up another window, select the COM port, hit connect. Once the sensor is connected, we can press the measure button. Now this process will take approximately 30 seconds to return a result. Once the result is open, you'll see the ABS 220 and 270 values. Those values should be less than 0.02 with fresh DI water. If they aren't, please wash again. Now that our sensor is nice and clean, of course we remove our DI water, put the bung back in, and simply take a water sample. So things to remember with taking samples is record the date and time that the sample occurred for future reference. Now we'll put a sample in, and just to remove any residue, let the sample out and fill again. Now we follow the exact same process as before by clicking on the measure button and waiting for the result. Once a result is returned, you'll see our nitrate concentration, and the other point to note is the ABS 270 value. Ideally we want that value to be as low as possible, ultimately not above 0.1. So this water sample here I've taken from a stream. You can see that there's quite a lot of sediment and silt within that sample itself. Now obviously we don't want to be putting that through the measurement tube itself, as we're going to get some interference from that sediment. Within the kit there is some 45 micron filters and syringes that we can use to remove that sediment. So to filter that sample, we've just got a 20mm lure lock syringe removed from the plastic. And the 45 micron filter. So just gently drawing that water through the filter. So exact same thing as our other bore sample. Filter off, and water into the measurement tube, release that water, and top up. Now one of the things we've got to be very careful about when we're taking measurements is to make sure we don't have any visible air bubbles within the measurement tube itself. If you do see an air bubble by simply looking down the measurement tube, release the water and refill it up.